I'm Rolika Roach at the Department of Communication, and on behalf of the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth, and Sport, I welcome you to today's press conference on the hashtag Sports Matter Awareness Campaign. For more on this subject, I invite the Minister of Education, Culture, Youth, and Sport, the Honorable Yodine Whited, to address you.
Thank you, Mrs. Roach. And good morning, listeners, members of the media. I'm honored and take pleasure to be here with the representatives of the various organizations as already introduced by Ms. Rolika Roach. Pleasant good week to everyone, therefore. I am proud to therefore be here indeed, as mentioned, with the St. Maarten Olympic Federation, with the National Sports Institute, with the Division of Innovation in Education, Mrs. Janelle Presentation, and also with the Director, the Department Head of Sports, Mrs. Jonelle Richardson, Michael Cornett, Aardwig Bell. It is great that we're here, and I think congratulations and a thank you are in place for this team, for the preparations made in, as was already dubbed, hashtag Sports Matters. I personally indeed requested and urged the importance of public-private partnerships for sports. We know where we are now, post-Irma, and we do know and understand the enormous need for resources and funds, and we do understand that there were indeed extensive damages to our sports facilities. And that indeed emphasizes therefore that we need to go beyond the investments that government is able to make, and that we have to understand indeed that we need private investments and support as well. So indeed, the possibility to introduce the Step Up for Sports mixer that will be elucidated further in our program for today is a great opportunity to indeed ensure that we use various opportunities and various options to allocate and increase funds and resources necessary to repair our sports facilities, because they were indeed heavily impacted as well, together with our educational system. So today is the launch of the Sports Matters campaign and the Step Up for Sports initiative. And I should always have to emphasize that it starts with hashtag Sports Matter and hashtag Step Up for Sports. I've therefore decided as Minister of Sport to make a strong appeal to the business sector. And not only the business sector here on island, because of course many organizations emphasize that they are heavily hit as well, and the SHTA reminded us, but it's also therefore an appeal to not only organizations and businesses on island, but also throughout the entire region and throughout the world, because I know that everybody has their eyes on St. Maarten, our resilience and our ability to indeed bounce back and start back better after Irma. I therefore decided to indeed make such a letter emphasizing the partnership with the National Sports Institute, and that letter is going to go out, and I thought it might be best to highlight some of those critical paragraphs that I'm addressing to the private sector. So it starts by alluding to the business sector as a partner in sport. And it starts by sport and physical activity has always contributed to the development of a healthier society. And I'm sure you agree with us that sport has significant health, social and economic benefits. Sports play an important role for our young people, and I'm encouraged by and have great respect for the commitment and hard work by the various sport organizations and volunteers to bring the training, sport activities and tournaments back to our sport facilities. Now, more than ever, in the post-Irma recovery stage, it is critically important that persons have a place where they can go to release everyday stresses, as engaging in sports releases endorphins that boosts moods and encourages positive social interaction. You may have seen that our sport facilities suffered major damage, which has severely diminished our capacity to maintain the level of sporting activities that we once enjoyed before the passing of last year's devastating hurricane. Due to the challenging financial circumstances, I am proud of our first support to start the repairs of the 6 basketball courts in a number of districts and the repairs to the Melford Hazel Sports Center in Soccer Garden. This support will go to the National Sports Institute, the foundation charged with the management of our sports facilities and the development of sport on island. This funding, however, along with the anticipated additional insurance disbursements, will unfortunately not be enough to repair and restore what was lost. In my capacity, therefore, as Minister of Sport, I am hereby reaching out to businesses and other potential donors on island or in the region to support public-private partnership in sport and join the government and the NSI in the hashtag Sports Matter awareness campaign to become a donor. We have summarized the damage assessments as prepared by the NSI in attached itemized sheets with indeed the major expenses that are anticipated per sport facility. We are making appeal and we are requesting that you join the growing number of groups and organizations that have already committed and donated in the interest of young persons' possibilities to do sport at safe and supportive sports facilities. The letter continues by saying how you're able to make such a donation directly to the National Sports Institute, and the letter gives the details of their banking information and how it can indeed be encouraged. It also therefore sends an invitation to the NSI, to the business sector in collaboration with the NSI and the sports department to join the mixer on Friday, April 6th, where there will be an auction and your chance to bid on the preferred low, medium or high donation. We invite you therefore to join us at 5 p.m. at the Government Administration Building for this engaging and worthy fundraising initiative. The letter concludes by saying we hope that you agree with us that hashtag Sports Matter in our community and that your organization or company will extend their support. The NSI will ensure to update you, the public and the business sector and the ministry about progress made with the donations received. And they are about also to launch their website in order to be more accessible and that we are able to follow their great moves and initiatives. The NSI is counting on the business sector's report through our shared vision for the future of sport, as we believe that working together is success. The letter has a variety of sheets that are attached, as I mentioned, with various overviews that you're able to donate low levels up to $2,500, medium levels between $2,500 and $9,000, or indeed high donations for the gold sponsors beyond the $9,000. We've grouped them, we've emphasized per sport facility where the needs are. They have already been inventorized and therefore great opportunity to indeed join us and look at your budget and your possibilities to indeed become a partner in sport. It is detailed to Great Bay Sports Auditorium, the Jose Lake Cooper Ballpark, a separate sheet for the Melford Hazel Sports Complex, and of course the enormous amount of repairs needed for Raoul Illich Sports Complex. Those are the 4 facilities that we've recognized thus far, but I'm sure that you can understand that, of course, any donation can further support the NSI's initiatives and the partnership throughout the entire sports organizations and associations on island. Thank you for this initiative. We look forward to the campaign. We look forward to indeed see the members of the media, but also the members of the business sector on April 6th during the mixer, and I would like to give the other representatives here on the panel table the opportunity to further elucidate for other subjects relevant to this awareness campaign. Thank you so much.
When disaster strikes, it affects all of us.
Yeah, girl. Tell Desan to come and see me. I'll put her name at the top of the list.
You need to know that as a citizen, your rights are always
Please.
protected.
I just need help.
Here, fill those out.
I have filled out this form 3 times already. I need help. This is just a waste of time.
If you feel your rights have been violated or have a legitimate complaint against any government body, even in these troubling times, we are here to listen to and act upon your concerns. The Ombudsman will use all of its resources to seek a fair resolution, keeping the government fully accountable. The Ombudsman, protecting your rights. Brought to you by the International Ombudsman Institute.
I now invite the head of the sports department, Ms. Janelle Richardson, to address you.
This year, we're starting our 4th annual awareness campaign. The minister expounded on key aspects of the campaign, but what I'm going to do is give a general overview of what we plan to do this year. So it's our 4th annual Sports Awareness Action Plan, and included in this plan are 3 key areas. The first is the sport conference. This is done on a yearly basis, and it gives us the opportunity as the Department of Sports, as government, to connect with the various sports organizations, give them the information that they need or requested or require, outline what our plans are as government and as the department, and also to find out what they are doing also, so that we can better plan sports and develop sports collaboratively. This year, the sport conference is being organized in collaboration with the Netball Association, and we're going to be covering areas such as good governance, child protection, fundraising and marketing, and managing individuals and groups. And it's important that we get the buy-in from the different sports organizations so that we could better handle and manage sports in general. The second area is the sports conference. The sport open house. This particular event is for us as government to also support the sports organizations to better bring information to the general public about what they do. Key here is how we can bring about information regarding the organizations to the schools, for example, because we would like to see more participation at the younger level, at the younger age. So we connect the organizations with the schools by bringing the schools to one of our facilities so that the organizations can highlight what they do and gain membership. And then there's another element to it, a open house on the second day where we invite the general public to participate and see what's on offer by the different sports organizations. The third element is the Brown Pelican Sports Awards. And this one we find is very important for the community to see what is going on in sports, and for us to also highlight what the different sports organizations, the different contributors to sports, the coaches, the volunteers, what everybody has been doing. We even highlight legends in sports so that we can bring awareness to those persons who in years gone by contributed to sports. We bring awareness to what they have done and how they have brought sports forward. So these 3 elements within the sports awareness campaign allows us as government to highlight what's going on within our communities, highlight what's going on with our sports organizations, and inform everyone of what's happening, and also for us to connect and support and facilitate sports and its development as much as possible. It is important to note, as the minister spoke about the mixer, following the conference, which is supposed to be on April 5th and 6th, following the conference on the 6th, we're having a sports mixer. And this is an opportunity for the business community, as the minister pointed out, to connect with the different sports organizations, to find out also with our foundation, the National Sports Institute, what they are doing and how Irma impacted our different sports facilities, and bring awareness to that, and see how we can all partner together to bring sports to the level in which we want to see it, and to bring our facilities to the level in which we want to see it. So We also have the president of the Sports Olympic Federation as well. And this mixer also brings the different sports organizations together, giving them the opportunity to speak to the business community, to showcase what they do, to show the importance of our facilities and what it is that we all collectively do in the development, in the interest of the development of sport. So firstly, I spoke about Mr. Cornett. Mr. Cornett is going to briefly also speak about what's happening with our facilities and the importance of supporting the endeavors of the NSI. And then Mr. Bell is also going to speak on behalf of the different sports organizations and the development that we have within sport, because collectively we've been doing a lot of things trying to bring sports to that next level. We want to see more sports participation. We want to see St. Martin on the map in terms of international participation in sport as well. So collectively, we're working towards that bigger picture of promoting sports and developing sports.
Thank you, Ms. Richardson. I now invite the director of the NSI, Mr. Michael Cornett, to address you.
Thank you. Morning, everyone present. Morning, viewers. Thank you for the opportunity. As the 1st of November, I was selected as the new director for the NSI. That's just after the hurricanes. So it is understandable that when I came in, the devastation that was there was something that had to be dealt with firsthand. I set out first to assess the damages. It was very important to know what we were looking at, what types of damages were there, what would it cost us. So the unofficial damage assessment report was made by the NSI, and that made us conclude what had to be done. What we did on a short-term basis was start the cleanup campaign. We started a very intensive cleanup campaign, cleaning up all of the facilities. I'm sure that you all remember what it looked like just after the hurricane and what it looks like now. What we have been doing is with our own personnel and our own resources. Much has been done to get the facilities back up and running. It is important that after such a devastating hurricane that the people that actually uses the facilities and that does sports can get back to doing sport as fast as possible. It helps against the traumatic experience of the hurricane. So that was one of our main focus, trying to get them up and running as soon as possible. 3 months later, we are at this stage where basic use of the facilities are possible. Our main facility, the Royal Illich Sport Complex, that is our main facility, as I said. So that is being used as we speak, except for the lights, the stadium lights, which still needs to be attended to. Hence, it's on the list also for being adopted. Also, we have the LB Scott's Auditorium that is in use as we speak. We managed to repair the damage, the indoor damages. The bleachers, the stands on the insides were repainted. The damaged boards were replaced, and it's in use for school purposes, and now it is in use for the public as well, for the sports federations. We have as well the Jose Lake Ballpark, John Cooper Jose Lake. That took us a while because there were the stadium lights that were on the field that had to be removed first. The field had to be groomed. The damages to the field had to be repaired. The damages to the fencing had to be repaired. The gates were blown away. The container was toppled. All that had to be regulated before. We are happy and proud to say that we are back at this stage now that it is in use by the federations as well. Only in the daytime, simply because the lights, the stadium lights, is an issue as well that is on the list of being adopted as well. But for daytime use, we have the Jose Lake up and running again. We are at this moment busy with the Melfort Hazel. Thank you to the minister and the sport department for assisting us to get the funds to be able to fix the building, because that is one of our indoor facilities. We only have two at this moment, the L.B. Scott Sports Auditorium and the Melfort Hazel. So the Melfort Hazel is in repair as we speak. The roof is being repaired. And thank you to Sir Martin Doot, who assisted us with fixing of the fencing for the tennis court and the tennis court, and the cleaning as well. So we are very happy for the help that we receive, because we receive many help from organizations that assist us with little small repairs. We are grateful for that as well. Rest us the Belvedere, that's the Cruyff Court. We all know the Cruyff Court has been donated by the Cruyff Foundation. The Cruyff Foundation is willing to assist us to put in a new Cruyff Court. In order for you to do sports, and in order for you to grow sports, you need proper facilities. So the facilities that we have to take good care of them. And in the future, possibility of creating new facilities is in the planning as well. But for now, this is what we have, and this is what we have to deal with. What is important is that, as the minister stated, the assistance from the private sector is very important to help us in order for we to get sports to the next level. As the president of the Sumatra Olympic Federation will explain later on, the end goal of all what we're doing here is to get our athletes to the desired level, to put St. Martin on the map when it comes to sports on a high level. We're talking about having the facilities in place, having the possibilities in place for the athletes to be able to prepare and get to that level. And that will take some time, that will take planning, but we have started. That is the main thing. And I must commend the minister is doing a very, very good job in pushing sports in the right direction. We are so happy we have a good team here that is going to put sports on the right track to put it in the new era and change the whole concept of sports here on the island. So I'm looking forward for the convention and the mixer. I will be there to give a presentation to elaborate on the development of sports from where we are now and where we want to be with sports. And I can't wait. I'm waiting impatiently on the mixer. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Cornett, for your opening remarks. I now invite the president of the Sport and Olympic Federation, Mr. Arthur Bell, to give his opening remarks. Mr. Bell?
Yes, good morning, viewers. Yes, good morning, viewers. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you, my minister, and also Janelle, and my also colleague, Mr. Cornett. I'm going to be elaborating actually on a little on our preparation cost, what we did, what happened in the past, a little deliberation on it, and our preparation at this moment with the administration level, and also the preparation with our athletes, and also our qualifications, and what is our goal settings is going to be eventually. Before that, the St. Martin Sport Olympic Federation, before that it was the St. Martin Sport Federation, where that we started a pathway in 2014. There, the board was elected again, and we had a new board. We put in place a big team, a powerful, energetic team, and we tried to make sure to change the whole development of sports. And our pathway started in 2014, where it became the St. Martin Sport Olympic Federation. However, in our preparation in that case, we had to make sure that after 1010, that we seek international membership so we can put St. Martin in the big pictures, as my colleagues speak before, about put them in the map. And before that, we had to do some homework, administration works, international participation, and put ourselves on the record, which means that also we had to get our Olympic sports disciplines become member of the International Federation. And this happened during the year from 2014 until now today. Fortunately, we became recognized at the Central American Sport Organization, and also in process to become the Pan American Sport Organization, which is El Paso, to become member of that, so we can hit to the Olympics 2020. For that reason, St. Martin actually had become recognized in 2016 with 11 sports, national Olympic sports, which we have Olympic sports right now who is registered international. Thank God for the team and for the membership, the hard work of all the organizations. And this actually, that put us already in the map. And I would like to congratulate all the organizations, especially the Olympic sport movements and the non-Olympic sports as well. Saying that, our organized team and the management team, we also had put an organization that called the General Organized Committee in place, where that this General Organized Committee had to take care of all the situations of preparations for educating our coaches, our officials, and doing that, we also had to learn the part where we had to prepare our athletes on the higher level, which means we had to educate and prepare our coaches in this particular area. And this happened during the time where we send out our athletes to prepared until they participate in also competition events to qualify themselves, to evaluate themselves on the level, on the standard that is necessary, so we can be able to participate in these games. And at that moment, since 2014, we had an eye on the Central American. We started a pathway on the Central American and Caribbean Games that is going to be held this year, 2018. It's going to be celebrated in Colombia, in Barranquilla, from July 18th to August 3rd. And unfortunately, St. Martin is part of that. St. Martin did qualify with athletes, and it's a historical moment for us that we make the qualifications with 7 athletes, including 1 female, and it's a full delegation that is going now. Unfortunately, after 2017 with the Hurricane Irma, we had a great loss, especially with the further development, where we had to fly out our athletes to Curacao, and also we couldn't make it with the baseball selection team because of the different downfalls and what was happening with the family and the loss. So the baseball selection could not make it, and we have right now 7 sports we are going to mention. Those disciplines right now that is in great preparation, all the aquatic organization, we have what swimmer from the Athletic Federation, we have qualifications from judo, we have also cycling that is going to take part in the Central American Games, and we have sailing that is going to be with 4 athletes in these games for this year, 2018. What I would like to mention is that the downfall from Irma put us in a devastating situation where that at this moment, I would like to first congratulate and also thank for all the support that we get from government. That's the first place I would like to say. And also in the private sector where we had Nagico supported us, they sponsor us as partnership. The GB and they supported us big time as well. And and Princess Juliana Airport, where also give us a head start in the beginning to comply with our movements. Momentarily, we are also in lost with our preparation of our athletes. One of the major things is that the event is 3 months ahead from us now, and we have to also prepare in the athletes preparation and actually to compete and to go compete in the international events and to have better preparation and also go into the training camp that is required to maintain the level as well. And in this particular area, we are still lacking funds for them. We need great help to actually help them prepare their whole preparation. It's a whole collaboration between the NSI and us, because we have also even the the facilities right now is in better shape, or they are maintained a little more better, but we're still lacking of that particular training, especially in our physical training. Also with the hall, with gym halls that we're using right now in schools, and they're occupied, but we also have some problems right now with that. So most of the time at this moment, we are trying to fly out our athlete, and that preparation will cost us actually some more funds that is required, especially the 7 athletes right now that we have. So that is what I can give the information right now, and we are waiting actually for more of our sponsors, and also to make sure to have the better preparation that they can have at this moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bell, for your remarks. At this time, I invite the project manager at the Division for Educational Innovation, Mrs. Janelle Presentacion.
Thank you, Rolika. Good morning, members of the media. Good morning, viewers. I will talk about the Step Up for Sports Challenge. Please excuse my voice, I'm a bit hoarse. But as the minister mentioned, and my colleagues, about the emphasis of, it takes a village approach in order to work together to get our sports back and better. We have organized a Step Up for Sports Challenge that will aim to, 1, engage the public to nominate and put the spotlight on local businesses to hashtag Step Up for Sports and contribute to sports, especially in the aspect of the repairs and rebuilding of our local sports facilities that have been devastated by Hurricane Irma. And then secondly, it's also for the businesses to become aware that the sports and that St. Martin needs them, and that we all need them to step up and support the sports because, of course, hashtag sports matter. So what are the challenge rules? And I'll go through them step by step for you guys. Please listen out, because I do expect everybody in here to also take part in this Facebook viral challenge. And, really push that we put sports in the spotlight and put the focus on sports, because sports is also a way for us to recover, for us to also express ourselves, especially in the moment that we are at in St. Martin at this moment. So we really want the community to acknowledge that sports is a healer as well, and we can utilize sports to become better and to overcome. So the challenge rules. So first of all, you have to like the Department of Sports SXM Facebook page. If you have not done so already, I repeat, Department of Sports SXM is the name of the Facebook page. And then secondly, you will create the post and nominate 3 businesses and 3 friends by using the following text. So I can say for myself, for example, I, Janelle Presentacion, nominate the following businesses, A, B, and C, to hashtag Step Up for Sports and attend the hashtag Sports Matter Mixer event on April 6, 2018, and contribute to the repairs and rebuilding of our local public sports facilities. I also nominate, and then you will nominate 3 persons to keep this challenge going by reposting and nominating 3 businesses to hashtag Step Up for Sports, and 3 friends to keep this challenge going because hashtag Sports Matter and hashtag Are You In. You can also find this nomination text on the Department of Sports Facebook page, so you don't need to literally write down what I'm saying right now, but we will definitely provide the text on Facebook, so that's why keep an eye out on the Department of Sports Facebook page for more information. And then the third rule is that you tag 3 businesses in your post, especially if these businesses have a Facebook account. So what we're also encouraging the public to do is look at businesses in your area that you think can contribute to facilities. Even in your nearby area, we have identified 4 major facilities, but there's also basketball courts and other sports facilities in your area that you think you can also contribute to. So we are asking you to really think about, what needs to happen in your area as well, and to nominate businesses in your area. And then fourthly, you'll nominate and tag at least 3 persons on your contact list to keep this challenge going by doing the hashtag Step Up for Sports Challenge. And of course, you have to tag the Department of Sports SXM Facebook page in your post. And last but not least, you press post. So, So I expect that everybody have Facebook, and Facebook is one of the most popular social media platforms that we utilize on St. Martin. So we know that majority of the persons have Facebook. But also, even if you don't have Facebook, and you walk into your supermarkets, you walk into your businesses, talk to them about why they need to step up for sports and why we need sports. Also, we're going to be launching some videos of local athletes who will be also pushing this message of Step Up for Sports, and also endorsing the Step Up for Sports Challenge. And it is not only on that one side, but after the businesses have accepted the challenge and they have contributed to sports, we will, of course, put highlight on them and do videos where, we commemorate the fact that they accepted the challenge and they stepped up for sports. So look out for us. We're going to be flooding the airwaves as well. We're going to be touching all radio stations, and we're going to be really promoting in the upcoming weeks, as well as we lead up to the mixture event on April 6th, which will, of course, take place here at the new government administration building from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. So we expect to see you all there, and especially the businesses that can contribute to sports. And then, yes, so that ends my part, and I just want to end with our hashtags that we're using for our campaign. So hashtag Are You In, hashtag Step Up for Sports, and hashtag Sports Matter. Thank you.
Thank you, Janelle, for your remarks. I once again invite the Minister of Education, Culture, Youth, and Sport to give her closing remarks. Minister White.
Thank you for the opportunity once more, even though I wasn't expecting this, because it was great. The contributions are clearly indicating that we are getting very, very serious with sports, and that we do so, of course, in close collaboration, that we do so using social media, and that we do so in using you, the media, to indeed also spread the word so that it becomes an engaging activity, ultimately, of course, ensuring that we indeed contribute to the repairs, to programs, and indeed the assurance to bring sports further beyond the boundaries of our island, and indeed the enormous importance that athletes are able to compete here on island, but also compete in the region and internationally, as so clearly emphasized by the Olympic Sports Federation. Overall, I would like to say thank you to the media for being here, and keep following us in the following 2 weeks, because we will have a variety of initiatives for the media. We will participate in radio programs and other outlets to indeed ensure and strengthen the message. So overall, in closing, thank you to the Department of Sports for taking up the challenge. Definitely also the partnership with the Division of Education and Innovation, Mrs. Janelle Presentation, Janelle Richardson. Wonderful that we indeed partner with, therefore, with the NSI, the National Sports Institute, because we clearly emphasized that the government doesn't have to be in all businesses, even though we clearly support and embrace the importance of sports. We have started on the initiative to secure and expand the NSI as a private organization, supported, yes, by government, but also as a private organization that can take its rightful position, not only in the maintenance of sports, but also in the development of sports. And in order to do so, we need to indeed ensure that we bring other alternatives together, such as the private funding. The partnership with the Olympic Federation is encouraging, because we emphasize the importance of national sports, and indeed the fact that athletes are really emphasizing the importance to get on that world stage. So overall, thank you so much for being here. We are open, of course, to take any type of questions that you may have, and we look forward to the initiatives to come. And overall, business sector, please join us. To the sports organizations, please join us on the conference on the 5th and the 6th of April. And the business sector, please join us the 6th of April after 5 p.m. to have indeed a great mixer in the interest of sports. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Minister White, for your closing remarks. At this time, I open the floor for any questions the members of the media may have.
Good morning. My question is going to start with Mr. Bell. Earlier on, you mentioned that athletes will have to evaluate themselves. Is that a new format for athletes to evaluate themselves?
No, continuously, thank you for the question, Mrs. Stevenson. It's a normal thing for athletes to evaluate themselves by competing, going to international events, and especially once they are in the preparation, athletes needs to know where he's at. Once you come back and you prepare, automatically you need to evaluate yourself by competing, going to competitions, and using that as a competition test. And competition test means that right now they need to go to competitions equally to the standard of the Olympic Games that they're supposed to go at this moment. And therefore, that once we go there, we are going to know exactly what are the problems, what are the lacking, what do we need to do to improve them, and also the psychological area where the athlete needs to grow himself, and if there is any fear or anything, they can also overcome that matter. That's the reason they need to go.
I don't quite understand your method, but that's okay. Minister, what became of the Upkeep Sports Facility Foundation?
Of course. Thank you for the question. The Upkeep Foundation was a foundation that was established years ago, more than 10 years ago, as a government's first initiative to indeed signal that maintenance was of critical importance for the government-owned sports facilities, and that it was preferred to have it indeed done by a private foundation. I met the situation starting, of course, as minister in January 15th, but of course have been engaged in the conversation through my previous profession, and know that that strategy of therefore a public-private partnership and government's initiative to have a foundation run and go over the facilities and further encourage sports programs was therefore continued through the National Sports Institute. As both foundations were complemented each other, the decision was taken a couple of years ago, I think already 2 years ago, to merge both foundations and that an NSI would continue. I believe that the merger completed, but I would like to have Mr. Cornett confirm such, because there may be some final technical administrative matters that are left behind. But the initiative to merge both foundations was taken, and that we therefore have one primary organization, being the NSI, to do, as I've mentioned, and has been mentioned by Janelle Richardson and Mr. Cornett, to indeed ensure the proper maintenance of the facilities and the further development of sports and sports program on island. I'm not sure whether Mr. Cornett would like to indeed.
Yes, thank you, Minister. To further the answer to the question, the merging has taken place. We are now in the final stages of the organizational structure, where the former employees of the Upkeep Foundation is being incorporated into the NSI. So we're in the final stages now. The 1st of April, the final translation of the employees supposed to be completed. So as for the the rules and the regulations and the legal matters for the foundations, those has been resolved since last year. It's just the final organizational structure had to be put in place, and that is done as I said.
As it pertains to the various sports facilities, you spoke of 5 facilities. I guess they are the Rahul Ilej, Jose Lake, Little League Stadium, and the LB Scott.
No, not the Little League Stadium. It's run by the foundation. They do that. We are responsible for the LB Scott, responsible for the Cruyff Court, responsible for the ballpark, and responsible for the risk, the Raul Illich Sport Complex. There's 5 facilities we actually manage, and we also maintain, because there's 2 aspects. Time limit?
If I may ask you a very last question, Mr. Cornett, how much is budgeted, or how much are you looking to at least budget for repairs to be done to the various sports facilities?
If if I may give a ballpark figure, putting all of the facilities together, because there's different damage to different facilities. Some is less expensive, some is more expensive, but a global figure we're looking at least $4 million to be able to have them up to basic standards again. The intention is to have it beyond that, but for now, let's look at the basic. We're looking at $4 million more or less.